Hello, Attack of the Killer Podcast Patreon subscribers. You're probably wondering, who is this? Who am I seeing right now? It's okay. I'm what I like to call Attack of the Killer Podcast alumni. Yes. My name's Dustin Neill, and I was actually part of the show for a while, if you were listening to it. I've never done one of these video updates before, but I wanted to contribute in some way because I wasn't able to make it on the 2019 Best List podcast. But just to let you know, I still watch horror movies. I still very much like horror collectibles, and I've got all kinds of things that I could show you, but I've narrowed it down to 3 things that I've gotten recently that I think you guys might like. So this Halloween, I had an idea of what I wanted to be, what costume I wanted to wear, and so I purchased a mask from Trick or Treat Studios. And that mask is They Live mask. Either way, here it is in all its glory. Now, I didn't actually end up being this for Halloween. I was actually Marty McFly from Back to the Future Part 2. You're probably saying, well, why weren't you this for Halloween? Well, unfortunately, I have some issues with this mask. Don't get me wrong, Trick or Treat Studios does a great job. Excellent job. When I got this mask, if you look on the website, it looks a little different. The hair on here, I wasn't feeling the hair. I guess I would have to style this in some way. I'm not really sure. But the design, the mask, the face looks great, looks identical from the movie, as from what I can tell. And the fit is what I also had an issue with. If you look closely, there's not very big eye holes, which I've done worse. And there is no room to breathe. If you look closely here on the nose, you can see very, very tiny nose holes. And I had a lot of trouble breathing. There is no slit in the mouth. I probably could edit that, but I didn't feel like I wanted to damage this mask in any way. And unfortunately, Trick or Treat Studios, they don't offer returns unless it's kind of like a special circumstance. So I've got it. I like it. It's cool to set up in my office here, but I don't think it's a good mask for a Halloween costume. Okay, so the next thing, I had a buddy go to Thailand, and there he found a really cool vintage toy store. And he knows I'm into horror, so he brought me back this Dracula figurine. If you take a closer look, it's a official Universal Studios Monsters figurine. I don't know. I had never seen this before when he gave it to me. The year on the tag says 1991, Universal City Studios. And you can look, they made all of the other monsters, and it's pretty much a gift. Like, you're supposed to give this as a gift. It's got a to and from on the inside and a little blurb here about Dracula. It's very old school. I mean, 91 isn't, I guess 91 is kind of a long time ago. It doesn't seem long ago, but definitely is. If you look closely, the cape is still really good condition. It's like a real cape. I really wouldn't call this an action figure. Really, the only thing that moves is his arms. I've never seen the other figurines, so I don't know if they do anything different. But this isn't something that you're probably going to play around with back in 1991. I don't know, maybe you would. This is definitely something that you sit up on your shelf and display. Now, for sure. Who knows back in 91. I'm not really sure what these were released for. I know that in the 90s they had kind of like a resurgence of the Universal Monsters. I'm not really sure if maybe that was the time frame. I just remember seeing Universal Monsters like on Pepsi boxes and Mountain Dew boxes, like seeing the creature and all the other Universal type monsters. But this is really cool. Finally, I have one more thing, and I got a feeling that not a lot of you are going to know what this is because it's kind of video game related. It is video game related. That is the copy from Limited Run Games of Corpse Killer. You're probably wondering, what the hell is this and why do I care? Well, this was a Sega CD game way back in the 90s. Again, way back in the 90s. That was re-released physically on the PS4. And this is kind of like its box set of all kinds of really cool goodies. Inside the box, there is a bunch of really cool things. The first thing that really stood out to me was a complete script of the game. Now, if you've never played Corpse Killer before, it's a full motion video game. I know, I can hear your groans over the internet right now. So they actually provided the entire script to the game. And on the front it says Project Manpower. There's this little white book that has all the lines, all the dialogue from the actual game in here. I thought that was a really cool addition. I had never seen anything like that before. Also, they added the original Corpse Killer soundtrack CD with a bunch of music that I probably won't listen to, honestly, but it's a really cool thing to add, just to put it over the top. They added a Corpse Killer sticker for anything, I'm sure. And, of course, they added a Corpse Killer poster. And, of course, the game, the PS4 game, how could I forget that? Re-released. Now, these old full motion video games, back then on the Sega CD, they were terrible. They looked awful. They were compressed video. So today they were able to take the original video, redo it, and make it look a lot better. Oh, and one of the coolest things I forgot to mention that I got with this, because Limited Games releases these limited runs of these physical copies. You can pick up this game digitally on any platform, I believe, but they do very limited release. Sometimes they get with the studio and they release original production materials. And I've had the chance to get production materials before with other releases, but this game, I was able to get an actual release, actual production piece of material here. And it's the Digital Pictures cell. It's an animation cell. Looks old, says Digital Pictures on it, Corpse Killer. And it's just one actual animation cell of the game, and you can actually see pretty closely the layout of the game and kind of how you can play it. So it's kind of like a first-person shooter in a way, almost like a light gun game that you don't use a light gun for. But I thought it was really cool that I was able to finally get some real production material. It's kind of like a little piece of history. This isn't my favorite game, but having something like this kind of just makes it that much more special. So that's all that I have. Hopefully this video wasn't too long. I hope that you subscribers out there are enjoying your Attack of the Killer podcast Patreon videos. This is my first one. Hopefully I can do some more for you in the future. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys.